This is a serious video, so there will be no intro or music. I didn't think I'd have to make this video, and in hindsight, I should have seen this coming. But here we are. About 2 days ago, I stumbled upon this user, who left this comment on a mythology video that I commented on as well. Before anyone says that I overreacted, or it's not that deep, or whatever, just understand that he went to 2 different comments on 2 different videos of mine. I don't have a problem with people adding context to whatever comments I post here on social media. I have a problem with people trying to flex about some BS college degrees or whatever and then not providing proof. And then when I called this guy out for not providing a link to his sources, he waited a whole day later to go back to the second video and talk shit about me being a gaming channel. He also waited another day to finally tell me that he got his information from a Polish author named Aleksander Giejster. Specifically his book named Mytologia Słowian, Slavic Mythology. And finally, the main thing I wanted to highlight is the fact that he likes to edit and delete his comments to make himself look better. I wish I had screenshots of the odd comments, but there was one now deleted comment where he basically said, I replied to 2 comments. You are not that special. I don't wanna beef with you. First of all, you with your 71 subs and no videos should not be talking about anyone being special or not. Especially not to someone who has hundreds more subs than you. Secondly, the fact that you like to delete and edit replies, which I know you're gonna deny doing, but I don't give a shit. You know what you did and I don't need to prove shit to you. Tell me something very important. You are a punk-ass bitch. I made videos about both Yarilo and Marana, and instead of addressing me on those videos, you decide to actively look for me on a different channel like some fucking creep. And then you wait days on end to not only provide proof of your claims, but you'll also talk shit and then take it back hours later. Around here we call those people pussies, because that's the cowardly shit pussies do. If you're gonna edit and delete comments just to make yourself look better, why the fuck would I listen to you or take you seriously at all? Also, I did look up Aleksander Giejster and his book. From what I can gather, the book has no English translation. Why the shit would you recommend a book with no English translation to someone you believe doesn't know what they're talking about, but wants to learn more? Were you expecting them to translate entire paragraphs online or something? You might get 1 or 2 knuckleheads to do that, sure, and had you not come at me trying to flex with your University of Warsaw nonsense, I might have been one of them. There are plenty of other scholarly books you could have recommended, like Slavic Mythology, Folklore and Legends of the Slavs, by Jan Hannes Makel. Or The Slavic Myths, by Noah Charny and Svetlana Slopik. Hell, if you really wanted to keep it Polish, you could have recommended Polish Mythology, a comparative study, by Alexander Bruckner. All of these were also written by university professors who were not only just as fluent in English as Giejster, but also had their works translated for international distribution. Instead you had to be a condescending piece of shit about the situation, and you proved that your balls are non-existent by deleting insults, likely because you knew I would have clapped back harder. Well, it's too fucking late for regrets, cause here we are. Unlike your pansy self, I don't take back insults unless I make peace with the person I was beefing with. So I'm gonna close this out with 4 words, goodbye and fuck you. Now that this asshole is out of the way, I wanna address you, my audience, to give some context regarding my Figure of the Week and Figure of the Month series. I wasn't fully prepared to have to make this video, because the issue I just discussed is one that I admittedly should have seen coming but didn't. But now I need to say this in the event that more haters come out of the woodwork to start shit. Firstly, I want to make it clear that this little series of mine is meant to be a harmless info series as well as a little passion project I've been thinking about doing for years now. Within the 2020s, I had the honor of making friends who had some kind of interest in mythology, Greek, Egyptian, Norse, Celtic, Japanese, etc. Not wanting to feel like an outcast among them, I decided to do what any good friend would, learn to respect and appreciate someone's likes. Try to understand these things before I decide I'm not interested. To branch out a little, I decided to explore one of the lesser-known mythologies. And that's when I came across Slavic mythology. The story of Perun and Velez, the cyclical rebirth of Yarilo and Marana, those, among others, are the kind of stories that grabbed my attention for one reason or another. But as I was scouting the internet, I became saddened at the lack of primary sources of information regarding Slavic mythology. There's no Iliad, Prose Edda, Bible, or Torah, equivalent for Slavic myth, and most of what we know comes from either secondary sources or authors who simply weren't as widely well known as someone like Ovid, who basically created Roman mythology by going out of his way to write a smear campaign against the Olympians. I ultimately decided that the best option was for me to continue doing my own research and sharing what I've learned to the world in the hope of making Slavic mythology as well known as the greats, especially considering all of the similarities to Norse mythology. But of course, I'm no the mythology guy. I'm not someone who can confidently do what I do here on YouTube for a living. Nothing I do on social media will ever be profitable, but that's okay, because I still have fun sharing my interests. And I don't mean to do anything but hope people enjoy listening to said interests. That's why I'm okay with my channel being as small as it is. All of the books I mentioned previously, as well as a few internet websites, are my main sources of information for those videos, and I pride myself in making sure that the information I share is agreeable to some. But of course, given the nature of mythology, everyone is going to believe in a different series of events for one story. It's okay if you disagree with the info I present, and if you explain your perspective and provide a link to where you got your information, I'll be happy to go over it and change what needs to be changed, if anything. But going forward, if you decide to flex college shit that no one gives a damn about, insult me or my content, or stalk my socials the way this piece of shit did, I will light your ass up in the same manner as I have previously with other dick-sucking pussies like this guy. And that's not a threat, it's a guarantee. Take it or leave. That's all I wanted to say in regards to this situation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for what I have to offer and I'll see you guys later.